Well, good Thursday morning, Southeast Texas. It's been a warm, muggy morning across the area, and we're going to continue with that through tomorrow. So if you like the warm weather, enjoy the rest of the day through tomorrow. And of course, we have that weather impact alert coming up this weekend due to just a regular rain falling on Saturday. Then we'll have that chance of some freezing rain on Sunday, especially up in the lakes area. Weather impact alert Sunday morning through Tuesday. And of course, still a little bit too early, unfortunately, to give exact amounts of how much total freezing rain we would see up in the lakes area and maybe along Interstate 10. It's just a day or so too early still, but a better estimate this morning looks like maybe 500s or so up in the lakes, 300s possible. That's possible along Interstate 10. Of course, we'll download our 12 News app and stay updated because, of course, this forecast as far as the freezing rain amounts will change from hour to hour, it seems like. But the trend has been for less, so that's good. All right, let's take a tour of our cameras this morning on our roofing 911 Skycam network over in Orange. Temperatures in the low 60s. We had fog this morning. By the way, we're going to see fog again coming up for tonight and tomorrow morning. Warm and humid out there until that cold air begins arriving over the weekend. And then that dry, cold air really starts arriving late in the day on Sunday. Our roofing 911 Skycam network here in Beaumont, just like over in Orange, overcast, lots of low clouds, 61 degrees. This camera sponsored by Packard and LaPrade. Had lows this morning in the mid to upper 50s. Expect the same tonight, probably 56 to 58 for lows tonight. We'll be in the upper 60s. May hit 70 in a few locations this afternoon, but looks like upper 60s will be the main high temperature coming up both today and coming up for tomorrow. And not really any rain expected either today or tomorrow. Now, we can't rule out a sprinkle or two. You always have that when you have the fog, but I guess we can't rule out a sprinkle today and tomorrow, but certainly not a lot expected. Our roofing 911 Skycam network outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. Overcast conditions, a low cloud deck across the area this morning. Temperature inversion in the atmosphere, looking at the sounding, pretty stout this morning. So not going to be a lot of sun, that's for sure, but can't always rule out a peak or two of sun here and there across the region over the next day or so, but very little, if any, expected over the weekend. So we're running in the 60s now. We'll warm up to the upper 60s this afternoon. So if you have any outdoor plans or anything like that, or you want to get your exposed pipes wrapped, things like that, you certainly have plenty of time to do that for today and tomorrow. Even Saturday, we stay above freezing on Saturday, by the way. It'll be wet and kind of chilly with temperatures in the 40s, but we will stay above freezing through Saturday, probably even into Saturday night, the way it's looking right now. And even up in the lakes area, you're dealing with a lot of low clouds as well, and temperatures in the lower 60s up in Jasper. Roofing 911 Skycam network sponsored by Pervalis. So a muggy morning. All right, got to go to Port Arthur. Low clouds there. A little bit of drizzle down in Port Arthur. Our roofing 911 Skycam network there, sponsored by Market Basket. You were near 60 for lows this morning in Port Arthur. You'll be in the middle 60s to upper 60s for highs this afternoon. Then yet again tonight, another warm, muggy night across Southeast Texas. Very warm and muggy. And tomorrow, probably a repeat of today. A lot of low clouds in the morning, and then we'll be seeing lots of clouds in the afternoon as well. Right now, we're in the upper 50s. Notice that wind direction. Of course, we had that weak front come through, and northeasterly. And look at the cloud motion there. That overrunning already kicking in the upper atmosphere. The low-level clouds moving southwest. The upper level, see the higher clouds working north. That's overrunning, already setting up. 55 Jasper, 59 Beaumont, 60 in Orange, 62 in Lake Charles. And sun's going to be hard to come by today. Can't rule out a few peaks today and tomorrow, but it's certainly socked in with the clouds, and we'll be socked in with the clouds until probably Sunday night. We'll clear Sunday night, and that's what's going to make for that hard freeze coming up, as we've been talking about over the last couple of days. 55 Huntsville, 57 Conroe, 62 at Houston Intercontinental this morning, 60 as we said over in Orange. Now, Of course, we had a lot of wind last week. It was real warm. Notice over the next day or two, not expecting much in the way of winds across southeast Texas. A little bit breezy at times, maybe some gusts 12 or 13, but wind certainly not a factor yet. I say yet because they pick up over the weekend out of the north as that colder air begins to push on in. All right, 24-hour temperature change. We're running actually a little bit cooler today than we were this time yesterday. Some 5, 6, maybe 7 degrees cooler than we were this time yesterday. Not a big deal. It's still fairly humid out there, and temperatures above normal this afternoon. Normal high, by the way, is 63 degrees, so we should be above that. So we'll be above normal today and tomorrow, and then we go way below normal beginning over the weekend, especially on Sunday. It's like Sunday will be our coldest day as far as that, with a cloud cover anyway across southeast Texas. But we'll be seeing those numbers a lot colder than that coming up as we head toward Saturday and especially on Sunday. Futurecast. All right, those northeasterly winds continuing. May see, as we said, a break or two in the clouds from time to time, maybe a sprinkle or two, and this is overdone, by the way, picking up some more fog again tonight. Can't rule out a little bit of drizzle with that fog overnight as well. Notice, not too bad, a little bit cool, mid-50s in the lakes, mid to upper 50s in the triangle, about what we were this morning. Light winds continuing, so certainly the winds not a factor across southeast Texas, that's for sure. And as we head throughout the day tomorrow, northeast winds continuing, upper 50s for highs, and certainly a lot of clouds. Now tomorrow we can't rule out a sprinkle or two, but rain coverage still pretty much zero as far as any accumulating rainfall tomorrow. Just don't see much in the forecast tomorrow, maybe 10% at most coverage, with those highs in the upper 60s again tomorrow, falling into the 50s tomorrow evening. Now, as we head into Saturday, though, we start cooling down. We're going to drop into the 40s on Saturday, but the way it looks right now, like I said, this could change. We should stay well above freezing. All right, let's take a look at the European model first. We've got it animating. It has no freezing rain at all for the lakes or the triangle. Right now, I'm going to discount that because I do think there'll be a little bit of freezing rain up in the lakes area, and it's also too warm to notice the temperatures on the European model. 40s. That is well above freezing. Golly, upper 30s lakes, low to mid 40s on Sunday. Got to remember, these big global models, they do not pick up that shallow Arctic air good at all. We're still waiting on a lot of high-res models that'll go out far enough to pick up things better in these global models. But GFS was a little bit better with this. It showed a little bit of freezing rain up in the lakes area and very little, if any, in the triangle. Now, this is what the big concern, I think the most important thing right now out of this event Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are the temperatures. Will clear out. Skies will become mostly clear Sunday night into Monday morning. These are actual air temperatures now. Teens up in the lakes area, upper teens to low 20s in the triangle. That is a hard freeze, and it can certainly do damage to your plumbing, your pipes. So you've got today and tomorrow to get the stuff taken care of. Any exposed pipes on the outside of your house, you got plenty of time to get them wrapped. They sell the stuff at the hardware stores, good stuff at the hardware stores to protect those exposed pipes. That needs taken care of almost a certainty with this kind, because it's not like it's going to be 18 to 22 degrees and then the next night it's in the 50s. We're going to have 2 nights in a row of this. Okay, so those exposed pipes need to be taken care of, and you've got plenty of time to do it. You could even do it Saturday, although it's going to be in the 40s and raining on Saturday. That'll be kind of miserable there, but you've got time to do it. Now, Monday morning as well, the wind's going to be blowing a little bit. Monday morning looks, I'm trying to think of a word to use here, brutal, okay? There'll be no precip, roads should be fine. I'm just talking about the bitter cold. Monday morning, about 20 along Interstate 10, remember, 20, 21 in the triangle, teens in the lakes. Factor in that wind. Now the wind's not going to be no 30, 40 miles an hour, but with temperatures around 20 in the triangle and 16, 17 in the lakes, and you've got even a wind speed of 5 miles an hour, you can't stay out in this kind of cold long. The wind chills will be in the single digits when you wake up Monday morning. And that can cause hypothermia pretty quick. It really can. Monday and Tuesday mornings, just brutal. We don't see this kind of cold in Southeast Texas, even during the wintertime, very often. Now, of course, we had the snow event last year, and we got down to record cold, 9 or 10 degrees one morning, but the very next day, it was back up to near 30 for lows. I mean, you're talking 2 nights of this. That's a problem for pipes. Very, very concerning. In fact, I think the cold temperatures, the hard freeze, I think is more concerning than any threat of frozen precip at all in our viewing area. Just being honest with you about that. All right, rest of the afternoon, mostly cloudy. No rain expected, upper 60s for highs. Now, as we head into tonight, I'm going to see a repeat of what we had this morning. Cloudy skies, a little bit of fog here and there. Anytime you have a little bit of fog, you might have some mist and drizzle. Overnight lows in the middle to upper 50s, maybe some low 50s up in the lakes area. And that 7-day forecast. All right, close to 70 today, mid to upper 60s tomorrow. So if you like warm weather, enjoy today and tomorrow. All right, Saturday, it starts going downhill. No frozen precip expected Saturday. That's good there. We start out around 50, we'll fall to 40. So that's going to be, Saturday is one of those miserable days. Cold and wet, but no frozen stuff on Saturday. I don't see any frozen stuff really on Saturday night, except maybe up in the lakes area. All right, now Sunday morning, this is where the forecast is hard. And you can still see it's 3 to 4 days out. So it's going to change a little bit. Right now we're forecasting 34 Sunday morning. Okay, that's just above freezing. So that's good news. So any precip falling in the triangle would stay liquid. That's good. Now the question is, do we drop to 32 or 30 during the day on Sunday? It is possible. And if it does, we could see a brief little window there, a freezing rain, let's say from around 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. time frame. Then after that, it looks like the temp goes back to 34, 35. So we start out at 34, drop to maybe 30, get a little bit of freezing rain Sunday afternoon, then we go back to 34. It melts. That's good. Now, some of that will refreeze Sunday night, okay? But here's what's going to happen. The winds pick up, and extremely dry air comes in with these Arctic air masses. Once you get rid of the precipitation quits falling, not only do the winds pick up, but you got bone dry air. I'm talking about dew points in the low to mid-teens will come in Sunday night and Monday morning. That's going to evaporate most of that that's on the ground, most of it. So we're being pretty good shape. I think the roads should be fine on Monday, especially after around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. The roads will be fine. In fact, we get up to the low to mid 40s. That's well above freezing on Monday. Then we have a hard freeze Monday night, but it'll be dry, low of 21, highs in the 50s, and how about 60 by next Wednesday? Well, that will be nice compared to what we've got coming, especially on Sunday into Monday. So trying to rephrase everything a little bit again. Warm the next 2 days, kind of cold and wet Saturday, fall into the 40s, but no frozen. Sunday morning, 34 along Interstate 10. I think we stay liquid. We may briefly switch over to freezing rain. There'll be a little 2 or 3 hour window there. It'll be very light totals. Might fall to 30, 32, and then back to 34 mid to late afternoon. It kind of melts some